let's see how inventive we can be in encouraging love, helping out, not avoiding worshiping together as some do, but spurring each other on, especially as we see the big day approaching. So what does that mean? So for those of you that don't know, we're actually starting a church in Bushwick, which is a neighborhood in Brooklyn. It's known for its street art, creativity, just all around goodness. So the reason I chose that verse for today is because that first line, I love it. It says, let's see how inventive we can be. Inventive. Having the ability to create or design new things, or to think originally, showing creativity or original thought. So there's been this overarching theme in the process of starting a church in New York, and that is to be different. And not just for the sake of being different, but that first line of that verse that says, let's see how inventive we can be, like, it's almost daring you to be different. Like, how creative can you be? You know, try something new, get it wrong, go back to the drawing board, try it again, like, see what works. And it's almost like there's no right or wrong answer. Like, if everything that we're doing is for the glory of God, then how can a method be right or wrong? Like, it's all worship. So the next part says to encourage love, help each other out, and don't neglect worshiping together. Community is important. People need to know that somebody cares about them, that somebody loves them, that somebody's looking out for them. And that's the job of the church, like no man left behind, like no person left behind. And whenever we worship together, it's vulnerable and we find unity there. It's where we're reminded that we don't have to live life alone. We find family and community and all of those things that everyone's looking for. It's really important. That's why worshiping together is so important. So the last part says that we spur each other on. So what's a spur? It's typically like a sharp, pointy object, and regardless of the exact design, it's always used for the same reason, and that is to keep things moving. And it's not a comfortable process because comfort breeds complacency, which means there's probably not a lot of growth happening. And that's why we need to spur each other on to make sure that we don't get stuck in one place for too long. When you're uncomfortable, it kind of forces you to grow, and if you're not growing, it usually means you're dying. For example, Danielle bought a lot of houseplants recently. Like, here's one, here's another one. Plants. Plant. More plants. Hanging plants. And if plants aren't growing, then chances are they're probably dying. Like, the more you pay attention to plants, the more you notice things like dry or dead leaves, or you see that they're actually growing, they're getting bigger, they're getting taller, they're fuller. And all of those things are subtle changes, but it indicates what's going on below the surface. But because we're around these plants every day, we notice the changes. And it's kind of like with people. Like, if you're around people more, if you're involved in people's lives, if you're close, if you're in community with those people, you notice subtle changes and the differences in their behavior and how things are going for them. And that makes it easier to see whenever somebody might need support and whenever you may have to have an uncomfortable conversation, you know, to spur someone on to be the best that they can be, to make sure that they don't give up. So it comes down to this, and everything that we do, whether it's work, play, art, business, no matter what it is, every day whenever we wake up, whatever we're doing, we do it all for the glory of God. And we use that as an opportunity to worship. We just don't do it alone. That's where community comes in. So we're inventive, we're creative, we encourage each other, we love each other, we build each other up, we help each other out, we carry each other's burdens, and we worship together. And on top of that, we make sure that nobody falls behind. We spur each other on whenever someone needs that extra push. That's what we're here for. That's what the church is for. I'll see you guys next time.